Hey Sagittarius, this is your 2022 cosmic forecast, looking at a month by month using the tarot and oracle. These are the major arcana cards that have come out for you so far. I'm seeing this in April and August, lots of soul growth around those months, but we're going to pull more and clear them up. For now, let's take it month by month. We're opening with, I believe, our only reversal that's come through so far, the King of Cups in reverse in January. So this is the month where emotionally things aren't exactly clear for you. You're also not 100% sure on the motivations of other people's actions. People are saying they feel a certain type of way. People are very much in their feelings at the moment. You might be dealing with a lot of people that are feeling like, or you're experiencing them to be quite emotionally unbalanced. Maybe you are aiding these people, or maybe you're trying to discern what's truly at the heart of the situation. You're not 100% sure about people's motivations in January. For some, this might not even be with another person. You're feeling maybe some mental fog and emotional kind of overwhelm, perhaps. So if you're just embodying the King of Cups in reverse, maybe it's you, Sagittarius, that is deceiving, tricking, not being fully above board and transparent with how you feel. This energy could be interchangeable, and we definitely will clear that up. Coming into February, we have the Queen of Swords. So now this is getting clear. This is if this is related to January, seeing through and discerning somebody's BS by February, or you're seeing to the truth of the matter, you're seeing things with greater clarity come February. This could be involving a Libra or a Scorpio at this time of the year too. We will have to clear that up. In March, you're coming through as the Seven of Cups. So this is this final confusion, final kind of period of emotional stew and soup and murkiness and lack of like a sense of clear perception around your current reality. So this is Pisces season. It's a time of dissolving the ego and transcending just the physical realm, and we hope to transcend spiritually. But it's kind of confusing for you because there's a lot on the table at the moment, and you're just really trying to figure out what's truly going on. I feel like the first quarter of the year is a lot, and we get to a much more empowering, action-orientated cycles of this year. Once we get over whatever is coming through from January, February, March, emotional issues, seeing the truth of the matter, seeing past the bullshit is huge here. And it's funny to me that the first manifestation of fire in the zodiacal year in Aries season with this Aries card, Emperor, is when you feel like you can breathe again, Sag. We're back in the fire season, and you're feeling like now you can take on whatever it is you need to do. You're feeling super in the energy of self-starting, taking the lead, managing others, inspiring others, leading from the heart, being brave, bold, courageous in your undertakings. The first part of the year, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces season. Yeah, well, that's interesting. You know, we do have the air sign here, the water vibe here, Aquarius season and Pisces season. You have to see something and you have to feel something. And for some of you, even though there was somebody at the start of the year that maybe didn't act with the best intentions towards you, by March, you're discerning, can I forgive this person? Is that even karma I want to carry through into the next zodiacal year? This grudge, this resentment, and maybe you just have to ask a question at the start of the year to get some clarity over everything so that you can go forward in April with this power and sense of command and sense of instruction, sense of I have a purpose here and I'm following a lead somehow. In May, great work ethic again. So whatever you undertake in April and you have this plan set in place to create, to do, to just be and live, like you don't even need to have an excuse for what you're doing. You just do it because it's your right. The Eight of Pentacles. So you're working hard and you have motivation around your goals in the month of May, and and it's just kind of coming naturally to you. You seem to be in a good flow now with this project, and it's ticking along nicely. By June even, I really see a sense of completion around that, or at least consolidation of all the efforts that you've been making in the month of May. Come June, it's something is finalized and something is very secure and sort of set in place now. So that's good. We'll see how that develops. So next quarter, or next half of the year, I should say, beginning with the 9 of Wands in this position for July. Okay, so what have I got here? 9 of Wands. Moon and Sagittarius is represented here. This could be an extra message for somebody also with the moon in Sagittarius, or if you're watching for your moon sign today. But for everybody, you're feeling so accomplished at this point. You do feel like other people want what you have at this time. You feel like the position you're in is very desired, very covetable, and you're actually really proud of yourself. Okay, you're aware that nobody is perfect, but at the moment in July, you're like, I've got a lot going for me, and I wouldn't blame anybody for wanting to be in my shoes right now. So I'm going to keep the energy up. I'm going to keep the motivation up. Come August, the next period of soul evolution, soul growth, more challenges or blessings coming through in a more felt way with the Judgment card. Now this is a pretty intense card. It is plutonic in nature. Plutonic themes are our primal instincts, like our primal instinct to survive, to procreate. So you're feeling like that's very intense primal energy in the month of August. We'll clear this up, but I feel like you're ready for the next challenge at this point. You've proved to yourself how strong, how persevering and committed you are to your cause at this point, and that come what may, obstacles or not, you still surmount, you still are left standing, and you've got a few, let's say, stories to tell at this point, Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a great storyteller, expansive with their mind, thank you Jupiter, and people are just like Jupiterian people, okay, because they're a little bit larger than life, or they're a little bit otherworldly at times. You've got some stories to tell at this point, and you've got something to declare, definitely something that you're like trumpeting here. Oh, actually, your oracle that came through for 2021 in my meditation, this was just some messages around what that whole year was for you, is Sound the Fierce Flute. I think that's very judgment. I haven't read that yet, but I'll read it for you now in just a moment. Yes, the Judgment card is just saying we'll have to clear it up, because this could be many things. This could be a chance to be reborn, reinvent something, just totally destroy the old to regenerate and create something that never could have existed until the old was gone. September, 8 of Cups. So are we back in our feelings now? We have the 7 of Cups in the month of March. 6 months later, you're giving something some thought about what happened there. Was I seeing that clearly? February, March, in relation to September, October, there's some similar kind of energy. 7 and 8 of Cups, King and Queen of Swords. We'll clear that up. But for some, you are revisiting feelings and emotions around topics that came up in March, and you weren't fully seeing everything crystal clear until around March, April anyway. So now maybe you're just going back and thinking like, oh, I wonder, did I miss anything there? And then some of you are really seeing like, oh, that was a pity is what I'm kind of hearing now. And the King of Swords in the month of October. So the King of Swords is, but ultimately I've decided what's right for me. And try as you might, try and revisit something, there's a reason that was left behind for you. The November and December period, the 3 of Cups and the 6 of Pentacles. This just looks like very pleasurable and enjoyable energy to end the year on. You are feeling like you can share a lot of knowledge by December. You have a feeling like that you're in the position to be of service and to help and to bring about just a balanced living situation, a balanced job. You have a good work-life balance at this time. And also in November, you have some reason to celebrate and be grateful for all the abundance and blessings that have come through all year for you. I think we're going to get a lot more out of these cards when we take another deck. I like taking another deck as well because oftentimes we get some synchronicities, like we're playing cards or themes, and yeah, you just can't deny that then when you're using a different deck, right? And now I'll read you this oracle card. Sound the fairest flute. When I was meditating, I'm sorry, I just ate a croissant here, so I'm like, there's probably pastries, like little crumbles on my lips or something. The 29, sound the fairest flute. So I was meditating and then I shuffled and pulled a card, and during my intention basically was just, what oracle does Sagittarius need to hear about 2021? And we will pull one for 2022 as well. As that discernment empowers you to make the choices that are aligned with your spiritual intentions. Like a fierce flute cutting through all vibrations with purity and intent, your discernment allows you to stay true to your values and spiritual destiny without getting caught up in distraction. If you wish to grow spiritually through love, joy, peace, and abundance, then discerning between higher and lower vibrations is going to be helpful. It's wise to be accepting of all love, of all life, and not to judge people or situations as good or bad. Some are more pleasant than others, yet sometimes challenge can turn out to bring us great opportunity for growth, which in turn becomes to be a blessing. However, that does not mean that we're wise to just abandon the power of choice. Yeah, sure, we have destiny and concepts of fate in the world that exist, but we also have the power of choice, right? So we can use our discernment to be guided on the path that to the most joyful, uplifting, and helpful experiences for our soul growth. So just because I was talking about discerning between sort of people or situations that are in highest and best for you in January, February, these themes that are coming up through the oracle might seem like they're resonating with you from something quite like recent in 2021, like just the end couple of months or weeks of 2021, and now like it's normal that that's still carrying on. Like it's not like 2022 comes and just all that is over, like a definite, no, there's going to be some spillover still. So maybe you're still in the discerning process, and maybe by like April you're much more clear. March seems to be a confusing period of overwhelm for you, or not seeing everything finalized in your mind yet. Discernment is necessary in all realms of life, from the physical to the spiritual. From the sort of lifestyle we choose to lead to the people we choose to spend most of our time with, even those kinds of energies that we invoke, discerning choices help us craft our reality. A wise use of discernment helps us to be truthful, clear, and accurate in our perception. Then our life path becomes one of greater joy and well-being. Your discerning powers are growing, and you are capable of greatest discernment when you listen to your heart and are able to let go of fear and shame, which can cloud your perception. This oracle has come for you because you are in need of seeing a situation in your life from your heart rather than from appearances. Don't be afraid to trust your own vision, beloved. It will help you live your truths and take good care of your own soul. Sagittarius, we're going to clear up these cards for you then. Let's look a little deeper into the month of January and our King of Cups in reverse energy. We have a little Luna here running around like a mad thing. She's dying for me to chase her around the place and play chasing with her. So she's just like running and I'm like not chasing her. That's her favorite game, chasing. Wowee, look, the 7 of Cups, you guys. So I was probably close to being on point when I was talking about this earlier, that some issue that happens in January is related to this confusion that kind of continues to permeate March, and you experience things as having to like discern, having to define, having to narrow down is what I'm hearing, like having to cut through a lot of BS, if I'm honest, a lot of confusion. Look, this person isn't seeing things clearly. It's not their fault or anything like that. Some of it is because of what's being presented to you is dishonest. There is somebody that isn't, it doesn't have to be somebody you know personally. You could be listening to this person on the radio, you could be listening to this person in your classroom, in your work, and you don't need to necessarily know them, but you're overhearing things and you're like, what on earth, that's super bogus, and like you're just, something around you just is BS. And you see it in January, your gut's onto something, or you have a feeling, and then come March this becomes pretty obvious, I'm thinking. So let me just say, the confusion and the emotional soup that's existing in the month of January for you, that you're trying to discern and sift through, by March you're kind of on it. By March you have it done, or you're like nearly done with it, but that might start to sort of show itself in January is what I'm saying. Okay, so let me look at the Queen of Swords now. We'll look at the Queen of Swords and we'll look at the Seven of Cups together. So February, March, I'm going to pull two cards, however. Let's pull one for the Queen of Swords and then we'll do one for the Seven of Cups. Couple cards here now. Queen of Swords coming through with the Six of Wands in reverse. Seven of Cups coming through with your beautiful energy. Temperance card, the major arcana for Sag. Okay, so that's good. This is the breakthrough. March is when we're clear. March is when we're flowing. If there is an indication for you this winter, Sag, if you're feeling called to switch to water, to eliminate different substances in your life, this could be a positive time to make that breakthrough with greater clarity, with support and guidance for you in this endeavor, if that's what you're interested in. But overall, you are just ascending past the drama and the confusion in the month of March, okay? And that's what Temperance is about. You had to go to a bit of a more murky, a bit more confusing and overwhelming energy, dealing with perhaps more than one person's emotions, not just your own. So this was like you going into this sort of like messy, chaotic, emotional territory. And that began in January. The real kind of bulk of the overcoming and the action and the kind of like motivation you took around discerning and seeing the truth of a matter really happens in the month of February. And so then I do feel like by March you're ascending higher. You've clarified a lot in your life by March. You've brought around like a balance restored in your life. You've brought balance to the people in your life, and other extremes that had been like maybe prevalent. You kind of have also Sagittarius brought harmony to those around you. Your world there's Luna going again. Your world in the external is kind of like shifting at this time to something more harmonious, something that seems more freeing and just lighter body altogether. I love that. Let's look at April. This is when we're having this Emperor energy. Really excited for April for you guys. So this is, well, let's just clear it up. It could be many things, right? The Emperor now. Oh, wait. That's so funny. Okay, so Judgment kind of fell out there. We do have Judgment coming through in August. We'll see if this shows itself again, but it's funny that that was the other major arcana that had came out originally. Okay, these cards are... and let me just take a deep breath with these cards just for a moment, you guys. Okay, so I'm looking to clear up the Emperor card for Sagittarius for April 2022. And you've got the Empress. Beautiful energy. The Emperor and the Empress. I do love to see that together. Archetypal mother of mother and father of fathers. This is a very strong union. It doesn't have to be romantic or a parental union, but it certainly can be if you are a parent, if you are making something established and something that you want to grow and make very stable with another person. It's a beautiful energy to do that. Hey Luna, what do you got? That's a beautiful energy to do that in April. To make something grow, to make it then concrete and exist in the world. You could be welcoming a child in the month of April. You could be discussing becoming parents in the month of April with your person. This is a very strong union here. In April, the people in your life that are most important will show themselves to you for whatever reason. You'll be aware of the ride or dies. You'll be aware of those who love you, support you, want you to flourish and grow. You'll be very aware in April of who truly appreciates navigates you, Sag. I do have the Queen of Cups at the bottom of the deck. It's not unlikely that there are themes of parenthood, love, connection, growth, fertility, making something real in the world, birthing something into the world. Now, the birth of this does not have to be a physical baby or anything like that. The birth of a book, the birth of a website, the birth of a coffee shop, whatever it is that you're offering, whatever it is that you are manifesting and creating and making real. April is a powerful month. Wow, Emperor and Empress in April. I'm so excited to see how that turns out for you guys, but that's going to be a powerful month, powerful time to accumulate wealth, a powerful time to count your blessings, and just you're going to be very aware of your what's kind of like your strong suit, I'm hearing. So I'm going to look at then May and June. Let's close out the first half of 2022 for you, looking at the 8 and the 4 of Pentacles now in the month of June, and pardon me, May and June rather. So you're working on something that gets kind of set. So you work, and then you finalize. And it's all good. Let's see. The Page of Cups. So this is something that some of you will be speaking out into the world. At the bottom of the deck, I've got the 3 of Swords and the King of Cups upright. This could be when, if you were dealing with a particular person back in January, February, March with this confusing issue, which the 7 of Cups, the King of Cups in reverse, this could be to do with something about abandoning alcohol, I'm hearing again. And for some of you, you do achieve this, and this is known to you by the summer kind of, or the May, June time. However, there's something that comes up if it's in relation to this issue from January, February, March. Come May and June, you're actually able to speak about this properly. You're actually able to express what that was to you, because maybe it took some months to even process this. You're able to open up again and express your feelings on this. The other thing that could be happening is, you come to terms with this King of Cups and you say, look, that really took a lot out of me. That really hurt me and brought me down. And I need you to hear what that was for me. That looks like it can be productive. It looks like there can be like reconciliation made even. Okay, so aside from that, let's just take it back to this work project. It seems like for some of you, what you have been working on for May and want to consolidate by June, it seems to be something of the vocal in nature. And by that, I mean something that you express. You may just express it yourself creatively. You may write it down. You may shout it out. You may sing it. You may interpretively dance it, paint it, whatever it is. It's something artistic. And when I say, creative, I don't just mean in that artistic classical sense of the word. I mean anything that you deem to be sacred, you deem to be worthy of your energy, your time, your effort. You carve out space a week, a day to do this. So it's your creation. You create basically when you take that time and set your intention. That's what creation is. It's just about being alive, isn't it? So the Page of Cups, it looks like it's a beautiful expression. It looks like it's kind, it's heartfelt, it's sincere, it's sweet. I love this actually. It's not just work, right? There's love in this. It's not just like laboring, it's a labor of love, and it's a passion project I'm hearing, and it's going to make people happy, and it certainly makes you happy. Love it. Oh, April, May, June. Wow, that's thriving for me. But it makes sense. It makes sense that after you overcome some emotional issue at the beginning of the year, it makes sense for you to stand in your power and start to see the blessings coming in. And look, all of this, what are we if not in some sort of a simulation where we upgrade our consciousness, or we level up, and guess what? Our DNA levels up with us. It's just about upgrading the system, and it's like just hacking the system at this point. You've sorted this out. Ding, 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 you go up a level, and now you're like, you're manifesting, you're powerful, you're strong, and things are coming a lot easier to you now come sort of the time frame of May and June. Okay, now 7 of Wands. Okay, so 7 of Wands we're looking at here in the month of July. Okay, and you're thinking, I hear Sag saying, especially those with the Sag moon, I hear this being said, oh, they wish they were me. Oh, hang on a second. One of my other cards got jumbled up in there. Okay, so let's have a look at the Nine of Wands. You know what? You just could not make this shit up sometimes, Sag. Nine of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Yes, this is going to be an important message then. The Page of Swords in reverse. Okay, so if I was right to say, and I kind of think this is validating me on one level, just seeing this again, that like, okay, go with your gut and your intuition on this for me now. I'm thinking, yeah, don't you all want to be me is what I heard. Like, oh, everybody wishes they were in my shoes. Everybody wishes they could be me doing what I'm doing. And look, I'm not mad about that. That just means you're doing something that's really great and really in alignment. Usually when you're doing something in alignment, people do gravitate towards that, even if what being in alignment for you might be a professional pool player. I'm just like looking, I'm imagining this as a pool cue right now. That might not be the person who's a marathon runner's dream to be a professional pool player, but you know, maybe they admire you being in alignment, and that just, it doesn't matter if they don't want to have your position, it just, they can tell that you're in alignment and they want to be in alignment. It's basically their soul, their subconscious reacting to experiencing you, and if they're triggered, it's just a nice, it's nice because then they get to have a reflection and say, why am I so triggered by this person's success, their stamina, their endurance? Oh, it's probably because I want to do that too, and I know I can do it. So yeah, you give other people an opportunity to grow. I feel like you're very inspiring. Now, because this came out in reverse, the Page of Swords, this just talked to me about something that is hyper vigilant, hyper guarded, very, you're like almost threatened then. Are you getting into the mode of, oh, well, everybody wants what I have, they're trying to take my this, they're trying to piggyback off my this, they're trying to use me. Oh, why are they spending all this time with me? They must want to use me or something. So it's this kind of like suspicion maybe that's coming up. Maybe there's one thing being guarded and like keeping, you're like, I see you basically keeping yourself on your toes, which is not bad. But the Page of Swords is like, don't be, this could be just like in reverse where we're a little agitated. So I think agitated plus guarded is like very defensive. Jeez, there you go. Spit it out. There, I got it out in the end. Very defensive is what I'm seeing. Okay. Judgment card coming through now in the month of August. So we've got our next major arcana, soul growth period. Let's go. We're going to clear this up with another card. So the Judgment card for August. The Three of Pentacles, nice. Bottom of the deck, Ten of Wands and the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords. So we see these air sign peeps coming through quite strongly in the reading. We'll see if they come through in our last shuffle. But air sign energy, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius seems to be strong for you this year. Let's see what else I'm picking through by way of a sign here, you guys. I'm probably picking up Sagittarius also. Okay, I've got my Temperance card, I've got the Moon and Sagittarius card. This is Saturn and Sagittarius. I do have some of these indicators here. So they might be signs or themes that are associated with that sign that you're dealing with more so. If air signs, you're dealing more with relations to human beings, relations to other people's thought processes, integrating different kind of streams of consciousness for the year. If you are dealing with Sagittarius themes, getting more in touch with yourself, obviously, or perhaps the urge to travel and to roam and to explore some of the land or explore something more outdoorsy, I'm seeing. Okay, so Judgment card and the Three of Pentacles. In the month of August, there is a great opportunity, and it's like you've been waiting for this opportunity. You hoped that this opportunity would show itself. You maybe kind of got a glimpse of this before in the past. Doesn't necessarily have to be this year. You got a glimpse of something. I'm just going to take a small sip, you guys. You kind of got a glimpse into this in one period of your life where there was a possibility to collaborate or go on board and be with a group of people, a team, or do something with other creators that didn't necessarily work out at the time. This is now saying that in August, this is a chance to collaborate, to create something with others, to come together and offer your individual spark and to bring your sort of individual nuance to the table, to just put the cherry on top of something. There's a beautiful energy of collaboration, and what this collaboration and team endeavor in August, whether or not it actually happens in August or just it becomes initiated or it becomes like conscious to you in August, it's very transformative in nature. This is a big deal. If some of you are looking to what did we have at the bottom of the deck there? The King of Swords. Oh yes. If some of you are trying to make amends perhaps with an air sign, or like it doesn't necessarily have to be, but there's like a friendship group that could use some mending. These are Aquarian themes coming to me now with the King of Wands there, or the King of Swords, sorry, at the bottom of the deck, and then we have them coming up again in October. There might be just something like that you could you need to apologize, or you're waiting an apology from somebody, and it's a good month for the possibility of long overdue reconciliation or an olive branch being extended. I'm seeing there, you guys. So the Eight of Cups involves sometimes that involves us abandoning a work of ours and saying, throwing the towel in some level. And sometimes this is because that's in highest and best for us. There's no need to beat a dead horse or flog a dead horse, as the expression goes. Kind of gross expression. Eight of Cups, never really thought about it before. Flog a dead horse. Okay. The Eight of Cups. King of Pentacles coming through with this now. So from opportunities arise for you when you do actually leave something behind. Opportunities to make more money, opportunities to stabilize more, opportunity to get on the property ladder, opportunity to invest in yourself, but something really good comes from you deciding that you're not putting your time, effort, or energy into something that just isn't really giving you the return you want. Try as you may, you have tried for this to work out. You have put a lot of soul and heartfelt love into it for sure, but there's knowing when the time is right just to move on from something. Let sleeping dogs lie. I don't know why I'm coming out with all these animal, what would you call these? Kind of like these animal descriptions. But yeah, I just think it's time to move on from something because you know that something is like going to be really secure for you soon. King of Pentacles, King of Swords, dealing with more influential people at this time. You've got 3 kings in the reading. The Emperor to me is another 4. The kings are 4s in tarot too. You've got the 4 of Pentacles here. This could be a year of stabilizing and making real, making concrete. Protecting is another word I'm seeing, like laying down foundations. That's what this year looks like. It could be like the creation of some sort of a launch pad for you. For something coming up whenever in the future at some point. These are the foundations being laid now in 2022. The King of Swords. Okay, we should look at this King of Swords because we've seen this sort of emerge a couple times. So the King of Swords in October. Aquarius energy potentially. What is going on here? What does Sagittarius need to know? It just seems to be like a decision that's made. 4 of Wands in reverse, speaking of the 4s, and the Tower. That's interesting. That's interesting. The Tower is the sort of like test of the foundations laid here. And because the 4 of Wands reversed, these foundations have uprooted. And whatever happens in October with the Tower was only at the bottom of the deck, so this isn't even going to be like the most this is going to maybe be noticeable to some, that there's some disruption, there's some test of the foundations to see their strength. For others, this will just potentially feel like in October, and I think for some it's leading in from this September. Should I move away from this? I need to move on from this. This was a situation that you thought was going to work out at one point, or at least brought you a lot of happiness and fulfillment at one point. Or I'm imagining like just stopping writing your novel halfway through. Sure, maybe you'll pick it up again in 3 years' time, who knows? But for now, that's something you're going to have to imagine that you're leaving behind. And at this time, you're like, okay, most likely that's over. You never know. Maybe if it's right, I'll be called back to it. But for now, you're just thinking about something else. The Four of Wands and the King of Swords here. So yeah, this is going to be more felt for you, like your decision. It's not like the Tower isn't really you that's being shocked. This could be you shocking others, is what I'm basically seeing, with your decision that you make to leave the company, to end your contract, to move home, to say, oh, I don't want to live here anymore. Some more change that is like a change in your security, but you're the one directing it. So it's not like this is like swept from under you. You might just be the one that's showing something that seems more unpredictable in nature to others by your decisions, but you feel them quite strongly. King of Swords, King of Pentacles, very grounded and with a lot of conviction in your kind of acting at this time. Okay, big year, Sag, big year. It's an important year, right? The Three of Cups and the Six of Pentacles. Let's look at these together. And before we're going to pull a card for this energy ending the year, and we're going to pull one more oracle for 2022, what that year is coming through as an oracle looking like. Now, thank you so much for sticking with me all this time, Sagittarius. It's a pleasure to read for you. The Six of Pentacles and the Three of Cups, a nice end to the year I'm seeing. And we've got, okay, well, just, I'm just being messed with here. Not nice in these cards. But then we do the Six of Pentacles again at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so that's okay. There is some sort of, okay, right. I do see some people deciding to separate themselves from a vice, a habit. It's something that's become habitual to you now. At this point, it doesn't seem like for some, this may be an addiction. This is the Devil card can be a lot about addictions with the Five of Pentacles in reverse, because we're quite desperate in the Five of Pentacles oftentimes, and addiction to things can change can kind of change like our rational thoughts. We can make decisions that we wouldn't ordinarily make if we weren't feeling very desperate. And sometimes this can be shown like when we're having money struggles, we can become quite desperate and panicked, okay? So there's something that's telling me for some that you want to let go of something that hasn't been working well for you or serving you anymore at this point. For some of it, it's just a habit. Like this could be like scrolling on your when you wake up in the morning, doom scrolling on your phone or your iPad or whatever it is, or getting like waking up at 5 a.m. maybe you need to go to use the restroom, and then you're on your work emails and replying to people living out in bloody Hong Kong on the different time zone, whatever it is, and you're like, okay, this is a habit that I need to break right now, and it's nothing more than a habit. It does not define me. For others, you're having a hell of a good time in November. Come December, you're like, oh, whoa, I spent a lot of money there, and I just need to kind of recuperate those. That's all that could be. But for the Five of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles, there's a real necessity for you to kind of be determining your worth by the end of 2022. That would just tell me that after a year of fours coming through a lot, that would just tell me that basically like you've been making something concrete for yourself to move and level up from. So anything that's still holding you back, back, ties that bind you. The end of the year is just a good time maybe to check in and say like, look, I've been thriving, I've been growing, and I've really made something for myself this year. What is continuing to limit me in some way? And for some, it's just going to be kind of money. Here's Luna, you can see the little tail. So yeah, it could be just like money or something like that. Anyways, we're going to look and see if we can get any more further insight from your final oracle, Sagittarius. So this is going to be an oracle for 2022. Okay, Sagittarius, so let's bring it back just for a moment to the present moment at least. If you'll join me in taking a deep breath. Hello, Luna. We have a visitor. Oh. Did you want to say hi to the Sagittarians? Luna says hi. Okay, so let's see. You got Radiant Moon of Compassion for the year 2022, and this was number 23. So let me read this to you now, Sagittarius. So we say here that Kuan Yin sits on a radiant moon of compassion, pouring forth the spiritual strength needed for you to liberate yourself from lower vibrational energies. Of fear, judgment, and into the vibration of freedom, love, peace, where you naturally belong. You are being urged to use this power to grow spiritually and free yourself of a situation that could draw you down. So right, Sagittarius, this is speaking to me a little bit about the breakthrough, or when you finally see what that energy is. For some, this will be obvious through the year, but for some, exactly, you'll have done the work throughout the year, and this this November, December time, because it looked so nice to begin with, for some, this is just the celebration of how far you've come and the fact that you did do this. Anyway, let me go on with this oracle. Beloved, you are currently challenged by lower vibrational energies. This is not bad. In fact, you have called the situation in so that you can grow spiritually. Kuan Yin is with you to ensure that you are victorious. These energies of challenge may appear to be external in the form of a person, place, thing, or situation, or a current or past relationship. They may appear to be judgment. They may appear to be internal in the form of a habit. Wow, that's what I was thinking, you guys. Of self-doubt, self-judgment, the judgment or criticism of others. You can either choose to allow these energies to pull you down into fear and judgment, or you can choose to grow spiritually through the practice of compassion and liberate yourself into greater peace, love, and freedom. Kuan Yin shines through her radiant moon of compassion, reaching to you to allow her to nourish your life and help you as you choose to rise above and growing spiritually strong as a result. Compassion does not mean being a doormat or indulging in the indulging in the emotional sufferings or either the manipulation games that usually may seek to play from a partially aware and wounded state. It does not mean collapsing into sympathy and seeking to rescue another from their own life choices and experiences. Compassion is recognition of the power of all souls to create their life experience. Luna's just like hitting me with her tail here. She's like, give me attention. Play with me. I will soon. So this goes on to say that compassion is also the recognition of the struggling that humankind can experience, the process of spiritual growth and gentle loving compassion for all humanity, not from a position of spiritual arrogance, but from a position of kindness and generosity of spirit. Compassion aligns you back to your soul light, to your own spiritual power, and lifts you to your freedom. Allow the beloved mother to shine her radiant moon of compassion in your heart right now so that you free yourself from judgment back to wisdom, discernment, peace. You deserve no less, beloved. So themes of compassion, I like that that's coming up for you guys. We maybe briefly touched on the Neptune-Jupiter conjunction in Pisces. This is in April. This is a very compassionate time for the collective. It's going to hopefully, I'm hopeful hopeful for it. I'm a Pisces. I have a lot of optimism. Usually I'm another Jupiter is my ancient ruler. Neptune is my modern ruler of Pisces. I'm looking forward to their conjunction in Pisces. I'm super stoked for it, obviously, because of that kind of whole thing. It's happening near my sun. I'm waiting for the blessings coming through in April, guys. I've got a great feeling for the collective for April. Yes, I particularly think February, March, April of 2022 are a better time for just manifestation, hope. Everything is station direct in that part of the year. So, until then, I think all planets are direct from February till the end of April. That's not that common. Things are going to be moving forward. Let's just harness that energy. Let's step into this new year, Sagittarius, knowing that we're going to create something, okay? Woohoo! Come at us, 2022. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for listening and sticking with me. See you soon. Luna, did you want to say bye? I don't know if this could be a little bit... Oh, did you want to say bye? She's like, hate you. Bye, guys.